What is up, Medicare Podcast Nation? This is Christian Brindle. Hope this episode finds you doing well, healthy, happy, and just fulfilled in every area of your life. We are now in August, and I hope that you're just enjoying the summer. Depending on what part of the country you live in, it will be here and gone in no time. And especially for people that live in places like where I live in Utah. Because it really feels like, I know it's not really this way, but it really feels like it's warm here 3 or 4 months out of the year, and that's all. So I am just savoring it and sucking it in. And I love warm weather, folks. This is the Everything Medicare Podcast. I'm your host, Christian Brindle, where every single week I bring you 2 podcast episodes that discuss your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Social Security, and everything that has to do with that golden age called retirement. And folks, if you didn't hear my last episode, which was on Saturday last weekend that aired, with the 2 guys that run the insurance panel, Nick and Matt. We talked about the insurance panel is a YouTube channel that goes over final expense insurance, burial insurance for brokers, really. But these 2 guys work exclusively with final expense plans. They have a lot of credibility. They've done a lot of things in the industry. And so we had a great conversation. They came on and we had a long talk about final expense plans and how it has to do with people that have Medicare and why it's important for someone that has Medicare. So if you missed that episode, go back and listen to it because I think it turned out really well. Obviously, this coming Saturday, I'll be airing an episode where I talk to another final expense expert, David Duford. I'm supposed to talk to him tomorrow, but the episode will air on a Saturday. So really looking forward to that. And that'll be a great talk. Today, folks, on a Monday, I want to talk with you about dental, vision, and hearing coverage and why it's important. So, if you're on Medicare or you've been on Medicare for any extent amount of time, you might have seen a lot of advertisements for dental, vision, hearing insurance. And the model to them is primarily the same, for a lot of them. You're probably looking at, especially if you're on Medicare, you're probably looking at about $30, maybe anywhere between $25 a month up to $50 a month in premium, okay? Monthly premium. This is for dental, vision, hearing coverage. The idea behind dental, vision, hearing coverage for people that have Medicare is, if you're on a Medicare supplement, you really don't have any dental, vision, hearing coverage because with a supplement, Medicare pays 80% of your medical bills between Medicare Parts A and Medicare Part B. Medicare supplement supplements Medicare, hence its name, pays afterwards and pays whatever Medicare doesn't pay. So pays any deductibles, co-insurances, you name it, the Medicare doesn't pay. But a supplement doesn't come with dental, vision, and hearing coverage. Okay? So what about Medicare Advantage? Well, somebody that has a Medicare Advantage plan, typically, it might have some dental, vision, hearing coverage, but a lot of times it's limited. And obviously, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt to a degree on the Medicare Advantage side because it's different in every market. And I know all 50 states tune into this podcast. But it depends on your market. It depends on where you live. Some areas, the dental benefits are rich. Some areas are limited. But in a lot of places, more often than not, you're probably, if the plan does have dental, it's limited, usually preventative dental. And even if it does give you comprehensive dental, it probably gives you $1,000 a year of dental, which is fine. A lot of Medicare Advantage plans also give you the option to add riders on, and that might cost $25, $30, $35, $40 extra a month in premium. And you get a dental rider that attaches onto it. Here's the thing, folks. I hear a lot of people saying there's no good dental, vision, hearing plans that exist. And that is an outright lie. It's bogus. It's nonsense, folks. I have dental, vision, hearing coverage on me. And I'm someone that's preached to you. since we started this podcast, that the last thing you want to do is pick up something and pay a premium for something that you don't need or is not going to serve you value. So I pick it up for a reason, and I'm going to go into that. I have dental, vision, hearing insurance on my wife, okay? And we've switched around from various different companies as new ones have become available. But I want to start this off by telling you a story of my own. I had a client of mine come to me years ago. Now, this particular client, I'm not going to tell you anything about him because obviously I don't do that. But we're just going to call him Fred. It's not his name, but we're just going to call him Fred. Fred came to me. He was a client of mine on a Medicare Advantage plan. Fred needed dental work done. Fred had about $10,000 of dental bills that he was looking at. Some of the things needed to be done right away. Some of the things needed to be done, or that not necessarily they needed to be done, but they could be done in a year. They could wait. Some things could wait, some couldn't. It just some were more urgent than others. From as far as the health of his mouth was concerned. But we're talking about $10,000 of dental bills. Now, for a lot of people, that is devastating. I talked with my interview with Nick and Matt from their YouTube channel, the Final Expense channel, on Saturday, and we talked about how a $10,000, $15,000 funeral could ruin some people if they didn't have any protection on it. That's no different for dental bills. $10,000 is a big deal. Okay? Now, with dental, vision, hearing plans, you might be thinking to yourself, well, they don't pay $10,000. You're right. You're absolutely right. They will typically pay out $1,000 a year to $2,000 a year, give or take. It's going to usually be $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, somewhere in that ballpark. You usually aren't going to find dental insurance plans that have no maximums unless they're discount plans. And there's a big difference between a discount plan and a dental insurance plan. Discount plans typically pay very small amounts, like a discount. You get 5% off here, 10% off there, 15% off there. Dental insurance plans are typically paying, 60, 70, 80% of the bill up to the maximum. But they do have maximums. So I hear people say all the time, well, I can't justify paying $30 a month in premium for $1,000 maximum or $1,500 maximum. And that's what this guy said. $10,000 he was staring at. This was my strategy for quote unquote Fred. Fred had a Medicare Advantage plan with me. So what we did was his Medicare Advantage plan had the option of adding a rider, a dental rider. It would cost him $35 a month in premium. It would immediately pay out $1,000 a year. No waiting periods typically with those Medicare Advantage plan riders. That's where we started. Now, that's not going to take care of all of it. There's still $9,000 to go. Now, I told him from the start, with what you're looking at, we're not going to be able to take it all off. It's just not going to happen. But we're going to be able to take off a lot of it. And he was fine with that because $10,000 he couldn't do. But if we could get it down to $3,000 or $4,000, he said that's doable. That's manageable. So what did we do? We put him on 3 different dental plans, all of which had $1,500 maximums. I think for all 3 together, he was paying about $110 a month in premium, and he got $4,500 in benefits. So this first year, he used the Medicare Advantage plan rider, maxed it out, had like a bridge done or something like that. Took it down to $9,000 left. The next year, he had his waiting periods that he got through. Keep this in mind, folks. When you pick up a dental, vision, hearing plan, they're typically all going to have a 12-month waiting period for anything major. 12 months where they won't pay for a bridge, a crown, a root canal. Most of them don't pay for implants, although there are some that do, very few, but most don't pay for implants. But anything major, dentures, full or partial, they will not pay for the first 12 months. That scares a lot of people away. But if you manage this and work it correctly, it's well worth the money if you have the need. And I'm going to talk more about that in segment 2. But he had waiting periods. All of these do. The only way around waiting periods is, like I said, a discount plan, which is going to take off minuscule amount, if anything. And typically discount plans don't coordinate benefits with insurance. That's important. Other insurances will coordinate benefits with each other. They'll all work together to pay. So he was paying $110 a month in premium for his 3 different plans. And then also he was paying $35 a month. So we'll just round it up, $150. Okay? $150 a month. So he paid his first year in premium with all 3 plans plus the rider, and it wasn't even quite $150, but we're going to round it up to that. Okay, so I think it was about $145 for all 3 plans plus the dental rider, but $1,500. Well, $150, a month. So for the whole year, he was probably looking at about $1,800. But what did he get for that? What did he get? What did he get? Well, $10,000 bill. First year, maxed out the rider because it has no waiting period. But it's $1,000 once a year. He got like a bridge done or something like that. Maxed it out, paid out $1,000. It lowered it by $1,000. I think he paid a little bit out of pocket for the bridge. I think it was $1,500 for the bridge. The rider took off $1,000. He paid $500. So now we're down to $8,500. He's paid $500 out of pocket, and the insurance has paid $1,000. But he saved $1,000 is my point. He waits the waiting period out. In the 12th month of the 3 different plans, he goes in and has a bunch of work done over the course of 3 months. And he maxes all 3 of them out. $1,500 each. Okay? So that would be $4,500 that he got back. $4,500. So he got $1,000 back from the first year from the rider. $4,500. Now, once the rider has reset, he gets some more of it done. Uses that for another $1,000. Because the rider will give you another $1,000 at the end of the calendar year. So now he saved $6,500. $6,500. So we were able to take that $10,000 bill for him and we lowered it down to a $3,500 bill. If you include the premiums, you can add on $1,800 to that. We'll just round that even up to $2,000. $5,500 with the premiums and everything. So basically, instead of paying $10,000, if you include the premiums and everything, he paid $5,500. That's a win, folks. That's a win. If you include the premiums, I mean, how often do we pay for insurance that we don't use because we have to? Car insurance. When's the last time I used my car insurance? I couldn't tell you, but I pay for it every month because I have to. But even still, am I getting my money's value for my car insurance? No. But you can get your money's value for dental, vision, hearing coverage. More so than a lot of other different types of policies if you use it correctly, and I'm going to touch on that in segment 2. Don't go anywhere. After a quick word from our sponsor, I will dive right into this. Welcome back, folks. Segment 2, Everything Medicare Podcast, Christian Brindle, and here we go. So, dental, vision, hearing. Okay, so in segment 1, we talked about Fred, my client. If you include the premiums into the equation, he saved, let's see, how much did he save? Yeah, he saved about $4,500. It's nothing to scoff at. Probably more than that because I rounded the costs up, so we had a round number to work with. So he saved, if you include everything, including the premiums, and let's say the premiums cancel out whatever the insurance paid and so on and so forth, he still saved between everything after the premiums were paid. $4,500. That's a lot of money, folks, to save. You got to think about it this way. You know, even if you're on Medicare, let's say you're on a Medicare supplement, you probably don't use it as much as you'd think you would. Now, you might have medical problems and you use it a lot, and maybe you do get your money's worth out of it, but it's there for protection. Why is dental insurance looked at any differently? And if you do have a need, is it going to pay out more than you pay for it? Absolutely. Okay? Let me paint a scenario here. Now I want to preface my comments by saying, if you have no dental needs, then you probably don't need dental insurance. If you just get your teeth cleaned twice a year for the last 25 years and you've never had a cavity, then no, you don't need something like this. I'm talking about people that end up needing work done, and they're looking for an alternative, and they're looking for a way out. Obviously, you know, you don't pick up insurance you don't have a need for. You don't pick up, hurricane insurance if you don't live anywhere near a hurricane area. It's no different. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, please. If you don't have any dental needs, I'm not telling you should pick up a dental vision hearing policy. Obviously, that's the last thing that I want you to do. But a lot of people have work done pretty consistently. A lot of people have a lot of dental issues. So let's say you do have dental issues. There's ways to work around it. $150 a month for 4 different policies, basically. From my client, Fred, might sound intimidating, but for the payoff he got, he was happy. He was thrilled. It basically cut his expenses in half. And we planned it out. He had a year to plan everything out and a year to kind of just do it as it comes. And it worked out so well. Cutting a $10,000 bill in half is a win. I don't care who you talk to. Dental insurance, folks, can be beneficial. So let's break this down. Let's say you pick up a plan for $30 a month in premium. Okay, $30. For that $30, let's say you get $1,000 a year maximum. Okay. Now let's say you have a plan that pays 60% of your bills year 1, 70% year 2, 80% year 3, because there's a lot of them that work that way. A lot of them typically increase their percentage payout based on, how long you've had the policy. Let's say it has a 12-month waiting period. So let's say you get on it. It might have a 12-month waiting period for major things, but it will pay for a lot of things right off the bat. Preventative dental, cleanings, x-rays, exams, those are expenses. Depending on where you go, it might be $100, but a lot of places it might be $150. Some dentists charge more than others. It's not a flat rate, but let's say it's $100. Now, a lot of times with these plans, you'll have a $50 to $100 one time a year deductible. So let's say it's a $100 deductible. The first one you pay out of pocket, the cleaning. So it didn't help you there. You got through the deductible. Okay, let's say as the year goes on, you have 2 cavities that need to be filled. Okay, fillings are probably going to be $200-$300. So if they're $200-$300, how much do they take off? Let's say you have 2 of them that need to be done. Let's say together they're $500, just for the sake of example. 2 fillings, $500, about $250 each. I think that's pretty probably accurate, depending on where you go, of course. That would take off $300 right there. Now, you're paying $360 a year for the premium if you're paying $30 a month. So right there, $300, done, if you have even a couple needs. Now, next time you get a filling, next time you get your teeth cleaned after the 6 months go by from the first one, get your teeth cleaned again. It'll take off 60%. So there you go. You broke even. You broke even. Remember, first year, they're not going to pay for anything major. No bridges, crowns, root canals, dentures, anything like that. But you broke even. How many insurances do you pay for? Can you say every year I have it, I broke even? Probably not too many. Year 2 comes around. Let's say the benefits increase to 70%. Let's say that year you have a crown that you need done or something like that. Well, obviously you're going to win right there off the bat. Crown's going to be $800 to $1,000 probably, but let's just say it's $1,000. Your benefits increase in year 2. So now you are at 70% coverage in year 2. So you get a crown, $700 it takes off. You broke even year 1. You got twice as much money as you put into it. In year 2, what other type of policy does these kind of things that you're probably more likely going to use long term? A lot of us go to the dentist, and we go a lot, and teeth keep maintenance. And even if you had work done in the past, fillings get old, they need to be replaced. Crowns get old, sometimes they need to be replaced. Bridges get old, sometimes they need to be replaced. These kind of things will pay for itself and actually pay you to be on them, folks, if you have any type of need. So keep it in mind. Let's put it in perspective. You know, I was sitting down with a client of mine yesterday, and he saw it as a no-brainer. But his wife did not. His wife said, we were looking at a plan that was a $40 a month premium for $1,500. Now, this particular plan would help pay for implants. Now, he needs implants, bridges, crowns, you name it. Probably has about $4,000 of work he's looking at. So, talked to his dentist. Dentist said he could wait on some of it till next year. So we were looking at a $40 a month premium plan, $1,500 maximum benefit. His wife just couldn't get behind the idea of spending about $500 a year in premium. She's like, that's just a lot to only get $1,500. But once I broke it down to her in a way that she could see how much she's benefiting, her husband saw it right off the bat. But basically, this was work that her husband needed done. It was they were going to pay that $4,000 or $5,000 in bills. They were going to pay it. If they didn't get anything, they pay it themselves out of pocket. Maybe the dentist gives them a little bit of a discount, but usually that's not much. They were going to pay it one way or the other. So basically, the way you look at it, for these people anyway, let's say you're in a situation like theirs, they pay $480 a year in premium at $40 a month. Let's round it up to $500, just so we have an even number. They pay $500 the first year. The 13th month after the waiting period's passed, you go and you get your work done. It pays $1,500. You max it out easy when you have $4,000 or $5,000 of work done. So you pay $500, they pay $1,500. So you get $1,000 more than you paid for it. That's a good deal. That is a good deal, in my opinion, folks. And I've done this for myself. My wife's needed bridges done. I've played this game. I played this strategy. I've got on it, waited the year out, and right when the waiting period passed, we got it done. And I've had these plans pay out $1,300, $1,500, $2,000 on some of the higher ones. I've been a beneficiary of these. I'm a testimonial. These work. Now, if your Medicare Advantage plan gives you all the dental you need, then you might not need it. You might not. And the other thing with dental, vision, hearing plans is you get glasses coverage after the first 6 months, usually maybe a year depending on the plan. You get hearing aid coverage. I mean, the plan will pay for itself. You could get close to at the very least, even if you don't have a lot of dental bills, having it pay out double what you pay for it. A lot of people get glasses every couple of years. You need hearing aids. You need things. Use these policies correctly, and they can work for you. Now, if you don't have a need, you don't wear glasses, you don't need hearing aids, your teeth are perfect, then yeah, you don't need something like that. I get it. It's all based on a needs-based situation. But this is something that people don't sit down and do the math. Do the math. See how much you'd pay without having it. See how much you'd pay for it, and see how much you get back. See how much more you'd get back than you pay for it. And if it's $1,000, then that's a pretty good payoff, in my opinion. having the expectation that it's going to pay an entire $5,000 dental bill is unrealistic, folks. You got to keep this into consideration. You're paying $25, $30 a month in premium for these plans. They're not getting any government funding. They have their limitations because of that. There's no real answer to that unless there's government funding involved. Like a Medicare Advantage thing, and I don't see that coming anytime soon, although some Medicare Advantage plans come with a lot of dental, so, but if you have a lot of dental work done, it's probably going to behoove you to do what my client did and pick up more than one plan, because even the Medicare Advantage plans are limited, the ones that have the dental that comes with them. Now, like I said, it's not that way in all areas of the country. Some areas have Medicare Advantage that do little to no dental. So you really just depends on where you are. But take this into consideration if you need help with this kind of stuff. And don't just throw it to the side, because there's a strategy that you can implement that I have come up with, that I have used, that was worked for my clients, that I outlined in this podcast episode, that if you put into action, you can make use of your dental vision hearing plan, and you can actually get a lot more out of it than you pay into it. It's going to be a benefit for you if you have any type of need for dental work. Stay with me into segment 3. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us through our third and final segment. And I apologize if I got a little animated during that episode. I want you guys to get this. I want you to understand what I'm talking about here. Now, obviously, every person has their own situation that's based on their specific needs and preferences. So is this going to work for everybody? Absolutely not. And that's why I want you to understand that. But for a lot of people, it will. A lot of people, it will. And you can benefit from these types of policies. Folks, I can't thank you enough for listening every single week. You're so fantastic, so amazing. And anytime I can ever do anything for you, if you're on Medicare, if you are about to turn 65 and you're just not sure which way to go about it, I work with people in Utah, Idaho, and Florida. And if you're on Medicare, or you're about to be on Medicare, and you would like to talk with me about your plan, make sure you're on the best thing, or make sure you're picking the best thing, or just to get some kind of no-obligation free consultation with me personally, we offer that. That's what our company does. That's what Christian Brindle Insurance Services is all about, is making this situation easy for you. I work with every single insurance company, and my company works with every single insurance company in the industry. And so basically, folks, our job is to sort through the options and find the best available program based on your needs and preferences. If you're on the best one already, we can already tell you if you are or aren't. The last thing we ever want to do is change something if you are. But Utah, Idaho, and Florida, and in the next 2 weeks, I'm planning on picking up a 4th state. So stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. Before you know it, we'll be in all 50 states. But yes, folks, call my office if you'd like to talk with me at 801-255-5340, 801-255-5340. And ask for Christian. Talk with me. I'd be happy to help you if I can. If you live in one of the other states, folks, the other 47 states that we don't work in as of yet, and you'd like to be able to pick my brain, normally I'd tell you to go pick up a copy of Medicare Guidance, Picking the Plan for You, my book, but I am doing, until the end of the month, a free book giveaway. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcast. If you have an iPhone, you just go to the podcast app. If you don't have an iPhone, go to any computer, go to Google, type in Apple Podcast, go leave us a 5-star review, and then send me proof. Send me an email with proof that you did that. Like maybe take a picture or a screenshot if you can do that. Or if you're not able to do that, just send me an email with the username you use so I know that it's you. And then your name, and the best place I can send some mail to you. I promise I won't send anything other than this, but I will send you a free copy of my book, Medicare Guidance, Picking the Plan for You in any state you're in. It's my promise. I'm only doing that till the end of August, so this will not last forever. So get on that. My book, Medicare Guidance, Picking the Plan for You, if you read it from cover to cover, it's a short 50-page, easy read. It's got no fluff. There's a chapter on everything you need to know about Medicare. If you read it, you'll know more than 90% of the population guaranteed, and probably a lot of agents. You'll know exactly what you need to look for. And you'll know if you're talking to an agent or your agent, if they're taking you for a ride or not, because a lot of agents do. Thank you, folks. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay tuned for on Saturday. I'll be posting my interview with David Duford and final expense expert. And have a great day. Thanks for listening.